filming wildlife with the Panasonic HC X2000 and the Raynox HDP-9000 teleconverter lens. The Panasonic HC X2000 is my go-to camera for filming wildlife. The awesome zoom, portability, and cost are why I chose this camcorder. When it comes to wildlife, the ability to zoom in is one of the most important features required. The Panasonic HC X2000 has this in an affordable lightweight package. It features a Leica 24x zoom, which is the equivalent of a 600mm lens on a full-frame camera. This is great for filming wildlife and the main reason why I use it. Also, it has a few pro features like the built-in ND filters, 2 ring controls, and most other needed manual controls at your fingertips. Weighing in at just 1.5 kilograms or 3.3 pounds, you could carry this all day and not feel it. I can wear it on a shoulder strap for long hikes with no problem. Stabilization is great. It shoots 4K 60 frames per second and has 10-bit color. The cost is reasonable also. All this for around $2,200 US or 3,000 Canadian. But still, I yearn for a setup that could do the really long shots. Something that could reach out and capture more elusive subjects that are not always easy to get close to without breaking the bank. Then I saw a video by Dan Chan titled Filming Birds with the Panasonic HC X2000. I was intrigued by his use of the Raynox 2025 2.2 times teleconverter. It brought him much closer to the action. My research showed that there was an older version of the 2025 called the 2020 that was exactly the same lens except for the lens hood. I found one on eBay for $116 Canadian. Once it arrived, I made a plate that mounted under the Panasonic to help support the teleconverter. The telly weighs in at 9.7 ounces or 275 grams, which isn't bad. You shouldn't need a lens support, but I thought best to have one. Now, out to the field for testing. The vignetting concern really isn't an issue for myself. With the teleconverter mounted on the camcorder, it only starts at about 60% zoom in. I very seldom record wildlife any closer than that. Here is an example of what vignetting looks like on the camera. What was more of a concern to myself was the softness of the image with the 2020. I don't think the 2025 would fare any better. It looks slightly soft on any zoom position and is really noticeable using the iZoom function on the Panasonic. Then I found another Raynox teleconverter called the Raynox HDP-9000 EX 1.8 times. But there was one very large caveat, and I do mean large, the size and weight. It weighs 3 times the weight of the Raynox 2020, but the increase in picture quality intrigued me. I found a good used one for 191 Canadian. Also, I had a set of rails and follow focus from a previous camera that I would use to support the lens. I needed to buy an adapter ring, 62mm to 72mm, to match the teleconverter to the camcorder. Portability is sacrificed for improved zoom and sustaining picture quality. Is the trade-off worth it? Sometimes it is. Again, here is the 2020 filming a blue morph snow goose, and here is the 9000 filming the same goose. I'm not sure if the difference would be apparent watching on YouTube, and here's a shot I couldn't have pulled off without a teleconverter, such as the Raynox 9000 if I wanted this eagle's close-up. I have no plans to sell the 2020. It has its place as a go-to lens while traveling. It fits easily into a suitcase and can be used with no lens support. Speaking of the follow focus, since using the lens support rails, I have been using the follow focus. I find shooting birds in flight are near to impossible on autofocus. I switched the camera to manual ahead of the shot and focus manually. Using a camcorder with a teleconverter probably wouldn't appeal to some who prefer shooting with a full-frame sensor and have the means to buy several lenses. But for the budget-conscious wildlife videographer, this could be the ticket to getting incredible long-distance shots they otherwise wouldn't be able to. I showed the costs of used teleconverters. They are available on eBay and Marketplace for reasonable prices. My setup cost me considerably less than $3,500. I don't think the video quality versus cost ratio would make any sense to spend twice as much on a full-frame camera or lenses. In the future, I may trade up my X2000 for the X2100, as it's supposed to have slightly better autofocus, or maybe I'll wait for the third rendition of this camera from Panasonic. I don't see myself moving away from camcorders just yet until there are more affordable options. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a line if you have a comment about the video or the camera.